When you've lost 12 games in a row, you got to think that sooner or later some heads are going to roll. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday, June 7th. Welcome to the Sports Note on YouTube. I understand I've been away from for a while. Was just burnt out, need a little bit of time to recharge. Although, hopefully, you guys actually caught myself, Mike, and Alex from Row 7 on the Sports Note on YouTube this past Saturday. If you haven't, go check us out. Man, do we have a lot of fun. A little bit more production value with this one. Covered a lot of topics and then had a little bit of a free-for-all, and that's not going to be the first, last, or only time you're going to see the Wise Guys free-for-all, essentially what we want to call Wise Guys Elite when we bring Alex on like that. And we got a lot of very big surprises coming up for you guys on the show between my channel and Mike's channel throughout the rest of the summer of 2022. But right now, when you've lost 12 games in a row, and it's the longest losing streak in Major League Baseball, and that's saying something. The Los Angeles Angels right now have the two best hitters in baseball in Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Trout's got 13 home runs. Ohtani's the reigning American League MVP, and yet this team can't buy a victory to save their life. Their closest loss was a 2-1 loss to the Yankees about this time last week, and then a 1-0 loss to the Red Sox last night, where Michael Wacha of the Red Sox threw his first shutout in 5 years. That's saying something. I think the last time Wacha threw a shutout, he was pitching for my Cardinals. They've given up. As a matter of fact, those are the only two games during this streak they haven't given up at least 4 runs. They've given up 9-7, a 10-0 loss to the Phillies late last week, 6 to the Yankees, 9 to the Yankees, 11 in a loss to the Blue Jays, 6 to the loss to the Blue Jays, 6 more, 4, 3, 7 against Texas. They haven't won a series since going back to when they took 2 out of 3 from Oakland, and that was 3 weeks ago. Going into tonight's game against the Red Sox, ESPN Analytics has the Red Sox as a 60.3% favorite to win this game, despite the fact that the Red Sox are only a game over 500 on the road, are 15-13 on the road, and yet the Angels are 15-14 at home. What's that say right now of just really how far, I don't even want to say the mighty have fallen, because you never know what you're going to get out of these Angels. They're the most Jekyll and Hyde team out there in baseball right now. Ohtani took the world by storm last year, but really isn't putting up numbers jumping off the page right now. We all know that Trout hasn't played a full season in the last few years. We know he's going to miss 20, 30, 40 games at some point, although he is leading the team in home runs and batting average. Problem is with Trout, he's mired in a 1 for 27 slump right now, where his batting average dropped nearly 35 points since this losing streak began. He's hitting at just 276 right now. For a career 304 hitter, he can't afford to actually have that go much lower right now. The Angels cannot find their gears no matter what it says. They've still got 3 games left in this series against the Red Sox. They've fallen 8.5 behind the Houston Astros, which is actually now tied for the largest divisional lead in all of baseball with the New York Mets and their 8.5 game lead in the American League East. The other big problem right now for the Angels are the lowly Texas Rangers are right on their ass. The Rangers are 25-28, 9 games back. Do the math. With the Angels being 27-29, they're only a half game behind behind the Angels for second in that division. Seattle is only a game and a half back with that, and they're at 25-30, so they're 10 out, so they're a game and a half back of the Angels. And for the Oakland Athletics, 15 and a half back, the way that the Angels are playing right now, anything's possible in this division, and you don't want to have the Astros start running away with this thing and then they start banging on trash cans, and then all of that bullshit starts up. So their run differential is only plus 10 during this. So if you do the math with all their blowouts and everything, their run differential was on the verge of what Houston's plus 45 is right now when this streak started. And for Anaheim, I still call them Anaheim because Anaheim is not Los Angeles. It's not getting any easier for them because after this series with the Red Sox, they host the Mets. Then they've got 2 against the Dodgers, and then maybe they get a little bit of a break because they get a 5-game homestand against Seattle. Then they go to Seattle for 5, come home for Kansas City for 3, and then home to Seattle for 5 more. For 3 more. So those are some very winnable games. But the problem is, you've still got the better part of 8 to 10 more really, really tough battles leading up to that. With tonight's game, the Angels still have not really announced who their starting pitcher is. It's, Ohtani's not due up until tomorrow. Noah Syndergaard's not supposed to start again until Tuesday when they're back home technically in LA to play the Dodgers. But the Angels right now are a mess. And again, remember that the Reds started out this season 3-22, had losing streaks of 11 and 9. So they lose 11, win 1, and then go out and lose 9 more in a row. Joe Maddon's got to be feeling the hot seat already, which is saying something considering the Phillies, as disappointing as they weren't this bad, and already fired Joe Girardi, who's got a couple of World Series under his belt. Joe Maddon's gotten a World Series appearance under his belt. He's got a World Championship with the Cubs in 2016, albeit at the expense of my Indians, now Guardians. But this is really, really, it's got nowhere to go but up. But it's almost amazing to see really how much further this has the potential to fall. Trout only got on base 4 times during this entire slide, and he broke the 0 for 26 slide with a single in the bottom of the first. In the first inning last night, top of the first. He only had 3 walks and scored 1 run over those games. This is not fun at all for a guy who is slowly but surely losing his title as the most feared hitter in baseball. Bryce Harper's still in that conversation, but right now you can't touch Jose Ramirez with a 10-foot pole if you're comparing Trout against Ramirez. Ramirez has already got 52 RBIs on the season, the last I checked with that. And I think the last I looked at it was I think Saturday night, so who knows how many more it could be. Trout's got 13 homers, but he's only got 28 RBIs. And again, that batting average dropping to 276. He's got the Angels have the full capability to start turning this around, but they're not going to be how like the White Sox are, as disappointing as they are, whereas the White Sox were supposed to win the American League Central going away. They're going through a lot of injuries. They finally DFA'd Dallas Keuchel. You guys want some entertainment? Watch the Sports Note show and watch Alex go off on his team, especially about Dallas Keuchel. Man, was that fun. Even some of our viewers messaged us later on and letting us know, man, he really does not like that team, even though it's his home team. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoy. And Mike and I will be back with you on the Sports Note here over the next couple of weeks, and you are going to see a lot more of me coming up here within the next few weeks on the Sports Note to kind of make up for some lost time. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you soon.